What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs just traded up in the third round of the NFL draft to grab a very interesting player, and I'm going to talk about it right after this. Ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, your Kansas City Chiefs just traded up from pick 95 in the 2025 NFL Draft up to 85, trading with the New England Patriots to grab Cal cornerback Nohl Williams. And Nohl Williams is a very interesting prospect for the Chiefs to take at this point in the draft. So this is someone that I think you can say was probably the best available player on the Chiefs board, especially given the fact that they traded up to get him. And I'm going to talk about the details of that trade here in a second. But first impression of Nohl Williams, super talented player. I think he was easily one of the best cornerbacks on the board when the Chiefs took him. But I think this is a situation where I'm less excited about the player, not because of anything of his own doing, but because I'm still concerned about what the Chiefs are going to do at running back and wide receiver, because Veach said in his pre-draft presser a week ago that they were going to try to come out of this draft with explosive weapons at wide receiver and running back. Still haven't seen it yet. A lot of talent has come off the board here in the second and third round. Still a lot of talent left on the board, but it's going to start to dwindle quickly on day 3. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe Brett Veach has another trade up his sleeve on day 3 of the NFL draft to get a guy that he likes, because I do not like where the running back room stands right now. Wide receiver room isn't as bad. You like what they have, at the starting wide receiver spots, but I think they need just a little bit more. So it's like, yeah, Nohl Williams, great player, but I'm just concerned about the offense still. But let's talk more about Nohl Williams, the player, because I do like this pick for the Chiefs. First of all, looking at what the Chiefs have done at cornerback this offseason, they signed Christian Fulton in free agency, a player that I really like, who I think is a good scheme fit. He's going to be able to man up. He's a good number 2/number 3 corner that's going to compete with Jalen Watson. And it also prevents Najee Johnson or Joshua Williams from really ever seeing the field. And that's what this Nohl Williams pick does, is it just guarantees that you're never going to see Najee Johnson or Joshua Williams again, besides maybe special teams. I mean, the Chiefs have now created very good corner depth. Their corner depth got tested last year after Jalen Watson went down. And Jalen Watson, I think, we're going to have to wait and see if he can get back to full strength, because I think you saw in that Super Bowl that he wasn't quite back to full strength yet. Sometimes it takes a while to get back to where you were before such a nasty injury like the one that he sustained. So Nohl Williams gives you insurance for Jalen Watson, also gives you another big, talented cornerback to pair with Christian Fulton and Trent McDuffie. And I also think this is great because they signed Christian Fulton to that 2-year deal, so he's here for at least a couple years. Trent McDuffie, I think we expect him to get an extension. He's going to be here long-term. Jalen Watson, we'll see, but Nohl Williams at least gives you some flexibility as far as what you want to do at the position long-term. But look, bigger corner, not super athletic looking at his Raz. He doesn't really have great long speed. That's where he lacks. This is someone that, is probably going to get beat deep a couple times. But what I do like about him and what he brings to the table, whereas some of the other Chiefs DBs currently don't, is ball skills. 7 interceptions last season at Cal. This is someone that takes risks. He likes to play the ball a lot. Kind of reminds me of Marcus Peters a little bit, just, trying to create turnovers. And the Chiefs could certainly use that in the defensive backfield. He has good coverage instincts. I mean, he was a consensus All-American this past year. I really like what he can do in coverage. This is a Spags prototype at cornerback. He just needs a little bit of talent. Dave Merritt as well. They just need a little bit of talent, and they can turn a lot of guys that maybe have a lower talent level into really good players. But I think, Nohl Williams has a really high talent level, and now the Chiefs are going to best utilize him, I think, where he succeeds. They're going to use him in press man coverage. And I think he's going to do well. I like the pick a lot. Again, just wanting to see what the Chiefs are going to do on offense, but I like the player here. I do like the Chiefs continuing to stack depth on defense because while the defense is good, as the saying goes, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And so I didn't want the Chiefs to necessarily run it back everywhere and get too comfortable on defense just because that was the strong side of the football for them. Doesn't mean you shouldn't still be adding. You know, guys get older, injuries happen. And I think the Chiefs have put themselves in a position where they can, you know, suffer a few injuries or afford for some things to happen and they still look really good. I mean, I think this is maybe the most talented secondary that the Kansas City Chiefs have had in the Steve Spagnuolo era, looking up and down the list of players that they have. You know, you have Jaden Hicks, you have Brian Cook, Chamari Connor, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Christian Fulton. I think you have playmakers everywhere. This is going to be a nasty secondary. I like Nohl Williams a lot as a player, and I think he's just a good fit. Not necessarily an elite athlete. Again, I mean, you look at the grades, not very good explosion, not very good agility, not very good speed, but the size. That's what Steve Spagnuolo likes, right? He likes big corners. He wants to press you up at the line. I get it. I get the pick totally. Now let's talk about the trade because I think that is a significant piece to this draft pick and what makes it a little bit more interesting. So the Kansas City Chiefs ended up trading with the New England Patriots. They trade that pick number 95. They move up 10 spots. And then they also throw in a 2026 fourth round pick. Now, this is actually the pick that the Chiefs got in the Joe Thuney trade for the Chicago Bears. So I want to make this clear. The Chiefs traded basically Joe Thuney to move up 10 spots in the third round of the NFL draft. That seems like a little bit of a steep price to pay to move up 10 spots on day 2 in the third round, nonetheless. They basically traded Joe Thuney to move up 10 spots in the third round. That's not great value to me. I don't really like that trade. I know some people are going to overlook it and be like, whatever, 2026 fourth. It doesn't seem that valuable because the pick is further away. But a fourth round pick, the pick you got for the Joe Thuney trade, I just don't see that as very good value. I'm questioning that just a little bit. But the good thing is the Chiefs are trying to make this team as good as possible for next year. And I think we could see some more trade up action tomorrow because they didn't trade any of their other picks in this draft today. They traded a pick from next year to move up in the third round. And I guess I'd rather that than another pick later in this draft because, again, you still need to address that need at running back and wide receiver. So those are my thoughts on the Chiefs drafting Nohl Williams in the third round of the NFL draft. I like the player a lot. I think he makes the secondary even better. This is good cornerback depth. I think he's someone that, you know, maybe is the succession plan to Jalen Watson if the Chiefs do not re-sign him because they have to pay Trent McDuffie here coming up soon. And then you still have Christian Fulton there in the fold. And I think that might be your future 3 at cornerback. Now, I don't want to look too far in the future right after making the selection, but very talented, good coverage instincts, likes to play the ball. He's probably going to get beat some here and there, but I think he's going to make some exciting plays on this defense. So those are my thoughts. Definitely want to hear from you guys down in the comments what your thoughts are on the Chiefs selecting Nohl Williams in the third round. All that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com, arrowheadaddict.com for more. And last but not least, follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB. That's all I got for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.